Chapter Morning Ladies, my name is Trez, and welcome to the custom card review. Yeah, and sorry for my voice thing. So, yeah. So now I'm gonna present, or this is gonna be the custom card review of the multiverse circus. And yeah. So the probably I did that but with. Let's do the so first would be the broken card. Heard called I'll just use their name, like what they are supposed to represent. This guy is supposed to be called the Clown Ninja. Multiverse Circus Clown Ninja. Where might be a broken card. Heard, but yeah. So he's a dark, level 4, attack 1000, defense 1000. Spellcaster, effect monster. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can select one multiverse circus monster from your deck or hand, except this card, special summon it to that targeted monster to your field in attack mode. And if this card attacks or it gets attacked by your opponent's monster, quick effect, you can shovel this card into the deck, banish the monster to the banish zone, or that monster, and if you do, then you draw 2 cards from the top of your deck to your hand. This card cannot be tributed by your opponent's monsters. Shooting because the thanks to kaijus and like other stuff that could tribute monsters, it's only on your opponent's thing. And plus card effects usually. And this card's effects cannot be chained by your opponent's card effects, and can't be negated by your opponent's when it's his card effects. You can only use its effects for once per turn. You can you take no damage from this card, or no battle damage from this card. So basically, so then the Clown Girl she's a light level 4 warrior effect monster, and so basically she can summon herself. So let's begin. If you control a multiverse circus monster or monsters on the field, except this card, you can special summon this card to your field and from your hand or deck. So basically, and once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, destroy all cards, destroy all monsters from your opponent's field to the graveyard, and their effects are negated until the end of this turn. So basically, its once per turn's effect is basically you can basically pay 1,000 life points, and you can just say adios to your opponent's monster. Yeah. And then until the end of this turn. And this card can attack your opponent's life points. But instead of your opponent takes damage, they mill 5 cards from the top of their deck to their graveyard. And if this card is sent to the grave or banished on quick effect, you can shuffle she gets shuffled into the deck and add 1 trap card from your deck to your hand. And then this one, you can special summon, or there's a updated version of it. It has a similar to hers, but if you can special summon it and to your field if you have all the other ones, except for yeah. So if this card is special summoned, except by its own effect, you can select 1 monster on the field except this card, and it gains 1,000 life points, or attack points. This card can attack your opponent's life points. And if it, this card loses, and then makes it attack again. And then if you do, both players draw 3 cards. So then these 3 are the main monsters, main ones that so far. So now we're moving on to Synchro Monster. Requires this one with the other 2 to make it. And plus once per turn, quick effect, you can select 1 monster your opponent on your opponent's field. So basically you could grab anything and take control of it and until the end of your next turn. That monster is treated as a multiverse circus monster, and so you can take no damage from this card. So basically, what it means by it basically so my reason why I'm doing this custom cards now is because in my next what if Crowlo or Crazy thing, this guy was in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think I'll put him in the in the newer one. Unless, do you guys want me to do a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing that some people have start on their channels? There's one that someone made for no name. Okay. I'm meant to hit search. Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom duels things. And I am not gonna. So, I'm trying to find who that guy was. So, one that Florentine Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, dueled against, or to see, it was during the Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus, or no, actually, Zork, or I forget his name, Darts, versus one of the YouTubers, the ones that made a spin-off series. So, yeah. So, let's continue. So, this one can turn creatures into, like, part of its archetype. It basically, I had a derpy version of it where, or no, not really derpy person. It's a personal one where he took the Amazon fighter and turned the Amazon fighter into a part of their archetype with the animation of his hands reaching out, grabbing fighter and opening his mouth and putting her in, like swallowing her, and like brings her a clown version of her. If you guys want me to do another example, yeah. So, yeah, most of these cards, like, some of them I basically used his effect on. There's another card that has almost a similar effect, but it's a more updated version. So, yeah, let's move on. The ice cream, the three-headed dog of the multiverse circus. It's a dark, level 12 beast effect monster that's fusion. Takes 3 of those ice creams, these ones, and I don't know why okay, so, yeah. So, basically, and its effect is basically, this card must be fusion summoned once per turn during the quick effect. So basically, once per turn, quick effect, you can select one monster on the field, tribute it, and then this card gains that monster's effect until the end of this turn. This card can attack 3 times per battle, because of 3 heads. And if this card inflicts damage to, or you can tribute 1 monster on the field except this card gains 500 attack and defense. And so basically, it goes from 42 to like 47. And because 0 plus 0 equals 0, 0 plus 0 equals 0, 5 plus 2 equals 7. Yep. And then 4. Yeah. So then but if you attack 3 times and it inflicts damage, you can tribute 3 monsters and gives you 500 extra attack for each. So 15. Makes it 5700. So then, if this card is sent to the grave or banner zone, quick effect, you can shuffle this card into a deck. Extra deck. Special summon all the fusion materials from your graveyard or banner zone to your field in a defense mode. And you can only use this effect for once per turn. Yeah. So, this one can basically it's basically eating your opponent or eating monsters like, man, give me the monsters. Yeah. And then the big boss monster is King of the Multiverse Circus. It's a dark rank 4. I don't know if I said that right. Rank 4. Fiend, XYZ, effect monster. It takes 3 level 4 monsters, or specifically Multiverse Circus monsters. This card must be XYZ summoned. All spells and trap cards on your opponent's shield cannot be activated. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one. Yeah. So basically, it basically cancels out your opponent's spells and trap cards on their field. So basically, they cannot be activated. So basically, any cards that are in set mode, they cannot be activated. Like Mirror Force. Nope. Swords of Villain Light. Yeah. So then, and plus, it's once per turn effect is basically if you detach one card, and then all monsters on your opponent's shield loses 1,000 attack points. And if this card is if this card is sent to the grave or banished, you can pay 100 life points. Special summon this card to your field in the defense mode. You can only use its effects for once per turn. Yeah. So then so a trap card, Battlefield of the Multiverse Circus. It's a it's a trap card, counter trap. This card can only be activated if your opponent declares an attack. Quick effect, you can shuffle one card from your graveyard into your deck. Negate that attack and banish that attack to the banish zone. And if you do, then you gain life points equal to that monster's attack point. And if your opponent activates a card effect while this card is in your graveyard or banish zone, quick effect, you can shuffle this card into the deck and then negate that card effect and banish it. So basically, it's basically like you can reach over, it's like you can be like, oh, you're attacking? Oh no, I have to put up my big shield by shuffling one monster. Yeah, so like say if this one attacks and you activate this card and you can banish her to the graveyard. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters so far. And I made custom support for it. Let's go from here, working way up. So, yeah. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah. So the crying clown girl of the multiverse thing is basically if you control a clown girl thing monster on the field, it loses 100 attack, and all of your monsters can attack your opponent's life points until the end of your third turn. And if your opponent activates a card effect that destroys or sends while this card is in your graveyard or battlefield, you can shuffle this card into your deck, negate that card effect, and banish it, and then your opponent takes 1,000 damage. So basically, it punishes your opponent. So then we got the Trapper. You target one trap card from your deck or hand to your field. Activate it instead of setting it. If you control a multiverse circus monster on the field, you can shuffle one card from your graveyard or battlefield into your deck. You gain 3,000 life points, and if you do, then you draw 2 cards from the top of your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So basically, it's saying that, I'm gonna activate this card right now, and yeah. You could activate basically any... Hold on, that's YouTube, though. I don't know. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Traps. Cards. So you could activate basically cards that are like shift and the or the monsters that are like, or activate trap cards that do basically nothing. Like, crash card, or no, the skill drain. So you basically lose 1,000 life points and negate all cards. Sorry. And you could use like any other cards that are like, I'm trying to figure out, or trying to find that trap card that's like, that is supposed to be for equips. So, trying to find that. Like, but I don't remember. So let's continue. So yeah. So this one allows you to activate any trap card from your deck or hand. And then, and if you have a multiverse monster, you could activate basically both of these 2 effects. So then the mask one, remember what I said earlier, that the synchro monster could take, or it has a quick effect of, you can take monsters from your opponents to your field and treat them as that. Well, this one is, or so that one you can bypass Gear 3, the Iron Knight, because it's not equipping the monster. It basically is taking the monster. So this one is a equip spell, and if this card equipped to a monster you're on your opponent's field, no matter if it is unaffected by card effects, you can take control of the equipped monster once per turn. Oh, so I forgot. And that equipped monster's name is treated as a multiverse circus on the field. So basically, you can activate this card, take something like your opponent's best card, and just like put it to your side, and you can create like your own version of monsters. Yeah, so and this one has once per turn you can, or it's a quick effect, and your opponent, or no, the equipped monster loses 1,000 attack and defense, and makes this card attack your opponent's life points directly. So basically, like toons, they come in and just bam. And if it does damage, and if you do the damage, battle damage is doubled until the end of this turn. And if this card is sent to the grave or banished zone, you can banish the equipped monster to the banished zone, and this card gets shuffled into your deck. And if you do during the rest of this turn, you take no damage. So you can only use this effect for once per turn. Yeah. So then the shield basically protects your monster from attacks and card effects, and by shuffling 2 cards from your graveyard or banish zone into the deck, negate it and shuffle it into the owner's deck, no matter if it's unaffected by card effects. If it does, then you add 3 cards from your deck to your hand. It's pretty broken, yeah, but hey, it's a counter trap, so yeah. And then show of the multiverse circus. You can pay 100 life points, special summon 1 multiverse circus. So basically, you have to pay life points to basically get a monster out on the field in attack mode, and if you do, add 1 like spell or trap card from that archetype from your deck, except this card to your hand, and this card is effects cannot be negated by, or cannot be chained by card effects, and it cannot be negated by card effects, your opponents. And you can only use this effects for once per turn. So basically so yeah. So then this card could search out any of those cards that were I mentioned earlier, and then we got and add cards. So then we got the circus beast of the. There's a lot of effect. So basically, you once per turn, quick effect, you can select 1 multiverse circus card from your deck or graveyard, add it to your hand. All of your opponent's monsters cannot attack if they were special summoned until the end of their next. It's supposed to be next turn, not new turn. So yeah, and then plus if you had a pendulum scale already set and you can special summon or pendulum summon this card, then its pendulum effect goes off. The actual effect. You can't. How long has this video been? Let's check. Yeah. So it's basically you can pay life points, shuffle all cards from your opponent's field into their deck, no matter if they're unaffected by card effects. And if it does, then this card gains 500 attack points for each shuffled card from your opponent's deck by this effect. And if this card is sent to the grave, or extra deck, or graveyard, or banner zone, quick effect, you can place this card in your pendulum scale zone. Instead, you can, and then you draw 2 cards from the top of your deck to your hand. So, and this card, or you can only. So basically, 5 cards. So 5 monsters, 5 spells / trap cards, zones. Shuffle them into and plus the field spell. That would make it 11. So yeah. And yeah, you do a lot of math and yeah, 55 I think. Let's check. I believe I have, here it is. So 11 times 500, wait, no, 500 equals that one. Yeah. So this card has 5,500 attack right off the bat if it was pendulum summoned. And so then we got the nightmare thing, and it needs a specific spell card to be on the field, and yeah, and you can select one monster on your opponent's field, and the selected monster loses attack and defense. So basically, set it to 0, or until the end of your next turn, no matter if it's unaffected by card effects, and yeah, and then yeah, so then the field spell is basically it can't, or your monsters cannot attack if they were special summoned until the end of this turn. So once per turns, quick effect during your opponent's turns, they must mill 1 card from the top of their deck to the graveyard. And all of their monsters get changed to defense mode until the end of their turn. And if this card is sent to the grave or banished by or by your opponent's card effects, quick effect, you can shuffle this card into the deck, special summon, yada yada, yeah. And then, its original attack gets set to 5,000, yeah. So then this run searches this card out, and then draws 3 cards, and that's it, basically, yeah. And then we got the first ever monster that I used the synchro monster on. And let's see. I hope. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's a lot of cards. So, yeah. So this run is multiverse heroes storm or striker, or it's basically one of the elemental hero dust or I don't know how to say the name properly, so I'm going to use translator part. Elemental hero. Is that supposed to be Stratos? I think Stratos.
Elemental hero Stratus.
Stratus.
Elemental hero Stratus.
Yeah. But this is the corrupt version. Level 4 warrior effect monster, and it has the
Elemental heroes.
elemental hero
Elemental hero.
Stratos is effect. When this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these following effects. Destroy spells and traps. Add one multiverse circus monster or spells / traps to your hand. Yeah, and then we got the Monster Reborn. Basically brings back 2 instead of 1. And then we got the other one that's other than this one. Blue Eyes Multiverse Circus Dragon. It's a level 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Level 8 monster. Light 3000. A dragon. Yeah, and then this card cannot be. Yeah. And then we got that one. Yeah. So every card that I introduced today is on Dueling Book. So, and plus, I'm going to do so the whole strategy is to absolute annoy your opponent, basically causing a circus. You brought a circus to a duel, and your opponent decides to summon or use like Amazons and spiders and the Amazon scouts and war chiefs. You could basically use Synchro Monster and Spell Card, and you could take all of their cards away, and you could summon them to your field, and they would be, all that stuff. They could work for you. Basically where the scene from the like symbiotes just like infected other cards or other monsters. Be like, I'm gonna take your Amazon War Chief and turning her into my personal whole thing. Yeah, and I don't know why I choose her, because there's so many people that did like cards like to her basically. And yeah, that Synchro Monster could be like walking over and stealing scouts and turning them into your own personal scouts for newer cards. So, yeah. So now this is going to be the end of the what if. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit, was too long for it. But, hey, at least I got it out for you. So I'm happy. And, yeah. So now, I'm going to go, and peace out, y'all. Peace. And I hope that all of you are having a great day and have a good night or day. Depends on the time zones. And would you play multiverse circus if they were real or were printed? Would you? Question mark? Yeah. Peace out, y'all. Peace.